$44.99 The Highlanders presents Rocky Book 3, Rocky Makes Friends. David and Rocky were super excited. It was summer break and it was time to play. They went hiking up Mount Cayman, played chess, and went picnicking at the park. While they were out, David saw a poster for a summer robotics camp later that month. He signed up, and before Rocky knew it, David was leaving on a bus. "Remember to make new friends while I'm gone," he shouted out the window. "See you next week." Rocky moped around work the next day. He tried to stay positive, but in truth he felt lonely. Rocky wondered. I wonder how hard it is to make new friends. When Rocky got home, he went into his workshop and began tinkering. David likes hiking with me. Maybe a puppy would do, he thought. 2 hours later, he built a robot dog made of iron. He decided to name her Fifi. They went to hike up Mount Cayman, but Fifi was too fast. She ran far away from Rocky before returning. David always stayed close to me when we hiked, thought Rocky. Rocky went to bed exhausted from all the walking, but Fifi was still awake. She ran around the apartment and barked excitedly all night. When Rocky woke up, he saw his living room in shreds. Stuffing littered the floor. He knew he had to get rid of Fifi. She was too playful. He picked her up, turned her off, and cleaned up her mess. Not as good as David, he thought. Back in his workshop, Rocky wondered what to build next. David likes playing chess. Maybe a serious robot would do, he thought. 4 hours later, he finished a robot with a nice suit and monocle. He decided to name him Porter. They pulled out the chessboard and began setting it up. Within seconds, Porter put out all the pieces and made the first move. Every time Rocky made a move, Porter would quickly make his turn. "Your turn! Hurry up!" Porter shouted after he finished. David always took his time when he played chess, thought Rocky. Rocky went to bed, exhausted from all the matches he played, but at 5 a.m., he felt someone shaking him awake. "Rocky, wake up!" shouted Porter. "It's time for breakfast and another round of chess." Rocky was so tired he thought Porter was his alarm clock, so he pressed the off button and went back to sleep. Not as good as David, he thought. Rocky spent the next day at work. Then a brilliant thought occurred to him. David is a human. Maybe another human would be the perfect friend. After work, Rocky invited his coworker, Mariana, to go picnicking at the park. They found a nice spot near the lake, but Mariana brought human food to share. She ate potatoes with a strange sauce, but Rocky couldn't eat any of it. David always packed my favorite oil, thought Rocky. Rocky went to bed exhausted from all the picnicking. He dreamed about his day. Mariana was nice, but she didn't like any of the same food as David or the same jokes. Rocky told her she wasn't doing stuff exactly like David did. After he said, "You should be more like David," she decided to leave and stomped away angrily. Not as good as David, he thought, as he drifted to sleep. When David came back from camp the next day, Rocky was overjoyed. They spent all night talking about his adventures. When David heard about Rocky's failed friendships, he looked sad. "Rocky," he said, "everyone is different. When you stop comparing everyone to each other and focus on having fun, you will find true friends." Rocky remembered all the times he had with Fifi, Porter, and Mariana. He felt sad he had not given them a chance. David suggested apologizing. Rocky turned on Porter and Fifi and apologized for turning them off. He also called Mariana and apologized for comparing her to David. To make up for all the trouble he caused, he invited them to a slumber party the next day. They barbecued, ate cake, and played video games before going to bed. Rocky was glad he made new friends.